Kia ora, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This is where we get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock with news. Some unexpected optimism is creeping back into financial markets. But first, China said its exports were 9.9% lower in December than the same month a year ago, a slightly worse result than anticipated. Its exports to the US were little changed in value terms. It bought a lot less from Australia and a little less from New Zealand. But its exports to Australia were up strongly, and even more so to New Zealand. Electric cars, that's Teslas and BYDs, drove those exports. Overall, China's car exports are up 57% from year-ago levels. Looking ahead, investors are turning bullish on China, looking past the immediate pandemic hurdles to the long-term benefits of opening up. The best indication is that their commodity prices are rising. The iron ore price is at its highest in 6 months, and China isn't happy about that. And there have also been recent heady rises for tin, aluminium, zinc, and especially copper. In the US, in an unexpected surprise, the closely watched University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Survey recorded much sharper gains in consumer sentiment in its first January reading than were anticipated. A small gain was expected, but a big rise was recorded. In Germany, despite all the pressures on them, they've wrapped up 2022 with a 1.9% expansion in their economy. That might seem slightly less than 2021, but it is another expansion greater than their 10-year average. In Australia, lending for housing fell again and more sharply than expected. The November data makes it the 10th consecutive month of decline and is now 26% below its January 2022 peak. And the sharp decline in American inflation might mean we're approaching the end of the rising interest rate cycle. Certainly local wholesale rates are now retreating, mirroring American rate trajectories. But with the prospect of a 2023 recession still being expected by most professional analysts, rate curves have turned negative. The New Zealand rate curves are now at their record 21st century inversions. The US Treasury 10-year yield starts today at 3.5%, a little change from Saturday. And the price of gold will open today at $1,921 an ounce, and that's up another $4. For the week, that's a $56 gain, or 3%. And oil prices start today 50 US cents higher than Saturday's levels at just over $80 a barrel in the US, while the international Brent price just under $85.50 a barrel. These levels are about $6 higher than last week. And the Kiwi dollar has changed a little, now at 63.8 US cents. Against the Australian dollar, we're holding at 91.5 Australian cents, and against the euro, we're a little firmer at 59 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today at 70.7 and unchanged since Saturday. Get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.